So I discovered a new tool tonight. It's really exciting. It's called GITPOD, and what it does is lets you choose any repository on GitHub. And if you go to the URL and just at the beginning type gitpod.io/hash, and then what happens you can see is that the repository URL gets sent to gitpod.io. And they use that, they check out that repository and they create a container which is all ready as a development environment for you to start using using the code in that repository. And the great thing is you can configure that container to have all your favorite tools. So you're going to have a VS Code interface. You can have pre-install VS Code extensions. On this image, I've pre-installed the SASjs CLI. I've also pre-installed Doxygen and also a browser, so I can demonstrate the documentation, the SAS documentation that gets created by the SASjs CLI. So it takes a few seconds to build. You can configure a pre-build so that all the installs happen before it's launched. Okay, here we are, and you can see I'm in VS Code. The first page up there is the README. I've already got the CLI installed, so I can straight away run a SASjs CB for a compile build, and that will take the SAS jobs that I've defined from my SASjs config file. And the way that this command works is it takes the header from the SAS job and then reads all the SAS macro, SAS program dependencies and creates one file per job in the temporary SASjs build folder, and then creates a JSON file so I can deploy that to VIA. I'm not going to do the VIA deployment part because that needs authentication, and this is a short demo, but I am going to show the SASjs doc command. This uses Doxygen, which I added to this container, and uses that to generate some HTML5 documentation for my SAS project. So I can open this with a preview, and that will run, it will even run the JavaScript, and I can browse my SAS jobs. I get the HTML documentation. I can even see the lineage. So this uses GraphViz to generate data lineage from my SAS job headers. I can click on any of these jobs and go straight back to the documentation for that job. All this by just putting gitpod.io at the beginning of my GitHub repository URL. So try it. You can try it on this or any repo. Enjoy.